What would it take for an empire to survive? Empires have risen and fallen as far back as we can remember. But what creates an empire to begin with? Multiple companies would form around the new obsession with detecting objects in space. A few of them go on to construct the almost perfect system, putting the rest out of business. Object detection in space takes an interesting form where everyone, especially the ones attracted to space and science in general, nerds if you will, does for fun. There are very large public databases indexing all objects that exist within 25 light-years of radius from Earth, and more toward specific and interesting directions. Those databases contain surprisingly detailed metadata for those objects. But in order to be certain about those details, for instance, planets and their content, companies as well as hobbyists would conduct further research. There are also systems specialized in filtering immense amounts of data, giving observers the ability to choose among objects most likely to contain what they are looking for, like planets with life forms on them or asteroids with minerals and elements they are looking for. Rogue planets of varying sizes, shapes, and nature are among the newly discovered objects that were previously almost unknown bodies in deep space. Due to limited detection capabilities, objects that emit minimal signals, as well as objects not close to any type of light source, such as a star, were almost impossible to detect. Celestial bodies and energy fields that are difficult to put into previously known categories are now being detected. Even entities that are hard to determine if they are a discrete body or an energy field. Another area that has seen various developments is the space transportation industry, specifically transportation of different types of materials ranging from newly mined and packaged elements to enormous ships and flying vehicles. Depending on the kind and size of the objects, a few mechanisms are used to transport objects back and forth between Earth and space, one of which, and the most common, being receiver fields, which basically try to land containers dropped from space as smoothly as possible. Containers are made of a compound that protects objects inside it from damage, as it is able to handle extremely high pressure and friction. These receivers are located mostly in very remote places on Earth, and they are tens of thousands of square kilometers wide. Containers are equipped with advanced computers that allow communication with receiver ports. As they approach Earth's surface, energy fields which extend several hundred kilometers into space as part of receiver ports on Earth would detect and verify those containers automatically, triggering the process to safely land them. Through methods like this, governments have created a new frontier of resource gathering. Construction materials. Concrete, different types of stone, and sand are some of the major imported goods, along with minerals and chemicals used as raw materials in industrial production. Due to the abundance of resources, local authorities have taken mostly a job of monitoring the distribution of raw material and partially or fully finished products. Entire districts, cities, large swaths of land, and even nations are designated to being a safe haven for all kinds of experimentations with minimum restriction. Outside of some personal collections or museums, cars that can't fly are obsolete. The most common vehicle is a car that can also fly. Less common but still widely used are flying cars that can also float on water. And an even less common but often used vehicle is a car that fly, float, and can also navigate underwater like a submarine. New inventions from individuals get more traction and improve fast in an ecosystem created for engineers and scientists working in similar fields of research. Experimentations are not limited only to new technologies in regards to how people live, but involves also where people live. Multiple nations, wealthy individuals, and eccentric societies have taken an interest in building islands on Earth's largest water bodies. The Mediterranean Sea, the Atlantic Ocean, and other large water bodies are home to several man-made islands. In addition to being the new way of acquiring more space for nations with very limited land, these islands have added multiple new possibilities to the tourism industry. It's seen as a form of art, landscapes that look like they're right out of fantasy story. Architectures inspired by futuristic neo-noir, Art Deco, and other genres are applied not only to buildings on them, but to the way those islands themselves are built. Another place that has seen an unfamiliar amount of visitors lately, other than the surface of the oceans, is deep under the oceans. Recent submarine technologies have made the impossible possible in terms of deep underwater explorations. Some go as far deep as the Mariana Trench. It's common to see young adults and teenagers stargazing as an entertainment at night as well as in the daytime. With advanced telescopes, it's now possible to view the smallest objects light years into the heavens to a single atom-wide detail. Even more interestingly, with the aid of space object detection technologies, anyone can explore planets, moons, or other bodies through tiny flying robots sent instantly towards those bodies and controlled fully by the viewing humans from Earth. Random enthusiasts would discover life forms, ruins, intriguing celestial bodies, and sometimes entire living civilizations. Arguments have fumed as to whether or not it's a good idea to signal Earth's existence, and as a result expose its humans to our unvetted neighboring worlds. Between those who are wholeheartedly for exploration, those who are not so sure, and those who are absolutely against it. But at least for now, it looks like the side of explorers has the upper hand on overall decision-making, letting them have their way with very little opposition, probably due to general curiosity and optimism dominant among the populace. Even though mankind is experiencing relatively stable political order, regional power struggles and conflicts over resources, such as land and water, occupy so much of the news and discourse. The fact that humanity can now reach out to the heavens to satisfy its material needs, the fact that we can extend our hands into whole worlds that are basically baskets of food, the fact that we have found all kinds of fertile, foresty, watery, mountainous, warm, cold, worlds with all possible combinations has decreased all kinds of worries, but did not completely eliminate the sense of scarcity in humans. People still fight over the earth and how much of it they and their posterity deserve. It's no secret that the American, and that is to say the United States government, dominates major decisions related to bigger issues like space and Earth. European and North American elites constitute much of the new dominant global power, which is effectively the world empire.